Now we're live. Good evening. This is Andre down here in Jacksonville, Florida, of Overcoming the Odds. Just wanted to get ready to just share with you how to get better results in your business in less time. Now, before we get underway talking about anything more, we're not going to guarantee you anything because obviously results are not typical, but they are possible. So please see the income disclosure statement below as we get ready to get underway with what we share this evening. But with that being said, let's take it all the way out to the UK.
Hi everyone, my name is Neil Hansen, and yeah, as Andre just said, I'm currently residing in the UK. I'm currently at 11 p.m. my time, which is it's a bit late, but well, it's well, it's the great thing about the internet because it's 24 hours, so we could go all night and it doesn't really matter. So, but yeah, tonight we're gonna literally go through, how to see better results in your business. And I know when I first got started, there was a lot of things that I struggled with. Certainly, what to do, when to do it, how often to do it, and there's a lot of things that I just couldn't seem to put. I needed to get together. So we're literally going to go through everything that you need to do from start to finish. So when you leave today, you've literally got everything you need to go out there and just start building yourself a business. So yeah, I'm going to send it over to you, Patricia.
Hi guys, this is Patricia Henry here from California. Like Neil says, he's over in the UK. It's 11 p.m. his time at night, and here we are coming up on the afternoon, 3 hours into it. But the thing is about this business, it's global. So no matter what time we're in, we have teammates that are just all over the globe. So for that, I love it. And then we are, like he said, we're going to talk about getting better results for your business, how to really focus on honing in on that skill and what we need to do to get there. So I'm looking forward to this discussion.
All right. Now, before we get underway, what we want to share, there are some stuff too that, some stuff of basically limiting beliefs that you gotta, if you're telling yourself these, you gotta be able to just wash your mind away from it. And oh, by the way, we have a free ebook below, so you can that might be just be able to help you out, wash some of those limiting beliefs away. Limiting beliefs such as, and I'm reading this from one of Robert Kiyosaki's books, Before You Quit Your Job, and this is something that one of his former business partners, Sarah Letcher, had brought up as far as stuff that you might say to yourself. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it when the perfect opportunity appears. I'll do it when I have the money. I'll do it when the time is right. I do it when I have more time. I do it when I find the right partner. I do it when the kids are out of school. What happens if I fail? I'm too embarrassed if I fail. I'm not smart enough. What will my friends say? Basically, there's this limiting beliefs that you keep on telling yourself as far as how to get results. But let's be real. At what point are you going to be ready to actually get something underway, something get started? And right before we got underway here a few moments ago, Neil and I were mentioning this too. And Neil, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about this too, as far as some of the stuff that if you know something deep down, especially if you're a person that business owner and a home-based business professional, deep down you should be doing something and you don't. That does kind of like nag you a little bit too, even though. And you mentioned this too, man. I'm going to let you keep on going more in depth about that too. We all know this. We're all human. As far as like we might not, on the outside, it might look all good and gravy, but deep down we know there's something that we got to get done. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's the thing. It's like you can try and tell yourself, this one saying that I never used to grasp up until I started this business, and that was, the one person you can't lie to is yourself. And I honestly believed up until a couple of years ago that I could actually lie to myself. And well, the fact is you can't, because there are certain things that you need to do in your business every single day if you want to see success. The only thing that matters in your business is consistency. If you don't do anything consistent, you won't have a business. I mean, if you think about a daily job that you have, if you don't turn up every single day that you need to turn up, it doesn't really matter. But you can try and tell yourself, I don't need to do this and I don't need to do this. You know you need to do it, and you can tell everyone else you don't need to do it, and everyone else might believe you. There are some more experienced people. I don't know about you, but the more you get to know a person, the more you can understand when they're I'll give you an example. I've got a girlfriend. I've known her for about 5 years, to be honest. When I first got to know her, she was always putting on a brave face. This is one thing I love about her, because she always puts on a smile. She always puts on a brave face, irrespective of how she's feeling. When I first didn't know her, she'd always put on a brave face, and I thought she would just being a happy, bubbly person. But no, she just hides the fact that she has problems in her life. So, but the more you get to know her, more I got to know her, the more I could see past the smiles and think there's something bothering her. But likewise, in your business, you can't lie to certain people. You can't say, I don't need to do that, because there are certain people who are just like, well, actually, I know you do. I know that you're trying to tell me that I don't need to do that, but you do. You can't lie to certain people, because they either just know you as a person and can see that you're not entirely being truthful, or they perhaps have equal experience as you in that particular niche or department or whatever it is that you're doing. But if you don't consider this that it's something you need to do every single day, then the question is, why are you in business? There are certain things you need to do, and you cannot get away from it. It's like when you get up first thing in the morning. What's the first thing you do? I get up and I'll get a shower straight away. That is the first thing I do. Get up, I have a shower, brush my teeth, do my hair, have a shave. Certain things I do every single day, and this is no different. That's what I do to get up, get ready, get refreshed, get myself sorted. Now it's no different from people like Andre and you know what I mean. But there are certain things that you need to do every single day in your business, and you can tell yourself that you don't need to do it. And there may be a lot of people who can tell you, all right, fair enough. But there are a lot of people that are going to say, no, actually, I don't believe that that's the case. I think you're either just trying to avoid it, or you're lying to yourself. The most important thing you need to consider is, does it matter to you? Is it something that you? Let me go back to start. The business you're doing, is it something you're content with being successful in? Because the more you procrastinate, the more you tell yourself you don't have to do it, the more you're putting off your success. Your success means you need to do certain actions. You can't say, I'll do this later, or if you don't want to do it now, you're not going to want to do it later. So the only difference between now and later is you don't have to do it now if you say you're going to do it later. And that's something I did to myself time and time again. I would say, I'll do it later, and that's because I didn't want to do it now. But then, of course, when later came, I'd say, all right, I'll do it tomorrow. And like you say, tomorrow never comes. You can't lie to yourself. If you're not going to do it now, and there might be times when you can't do it now, and that's fine. If you've got other things that you need to do, that's fair enough. That's different. But if you've got time, and you've got enough time in your hands, and you've got nothing else, well, I won't say nothing else to do, but if you've got enough time in your hands to get done the certain tasks that you need to do, and you say, well, I'll do it later, you're kidding yourself if you think that you're going to have any kind of success. And I was guilty of that for so long, and I kid you not, we're talking years, because I would always say, I'll do it later, I'll do it later, and I'll do it later. But the thing is, later it just doesn't come, because and this is another thing as well, because if you say, I'm going to do it later, and then later comes and then you do it tomorrow, you're getting yourself into a pattern of procrastination, which means when the time comes, eventually it stops becoming a part of your life in general. So I mean, how many times have you perhaps said, I don't know, say you've got to do a certain task. It could be for a friend, it could be for your family, it could be for anybody. But you've got into such a routine of saying, I'll do it later, it just automatically becomes your natural response. So, when someone says, oh, can you do this for me? Yeah, no problem. And then you forget, because you keep subconsciously, you're saying, I'll do it later. And then when the time comes, it's like, oh God, I can't do it. I ain't got enough time. It's like, well, yeah, because you kept saying, I'll do it later. I'll put it off. And eventually the time comes when it's like, well, no, you've got no more excuses. It's literally, you have to do it right now. You know, I was guilty of it. Even going back to school, I would have my homework given to me on a Monday, and I would leave it right up until Sunday evening. And often enough, I'd still not even do it. I'd go into school the next day and I'd come up with some excuse. They knew I was lying, of course they did. But I would keep saying, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. But, you know, that's the thing. I've been doing that since school. So, I mean, you know, when I say I've been doing it for a few years, I've been doing it for a lot longer than that. It's just one of those things where it slowly creeps into every single part of your life, because the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So, you know, if you're putting one thing off, I would dare say you're putting a lot more off. So, you know, I'm going off on a tangent here, but just trying to emphasize the point. If you keep saying, I'm going to put this off, I'm going to do this later, I'm going to do this later, like I say, if you genuinely have a lot on your plate and you feel you'd be better to focus once you've got all this off your plate, that's fine. But if this is part of your daily routine, that is part of your marketing in order to build your business, and you say, I'll do it later, when you really mean, I just don't want to do it right now, then you're kidding yourself if you think that you're actually going to have any kind of successful business. You need to just say, this is what I need to do. I'm just going to get it done, and then it's out of the way. It's done. But once you get into that pattern of doing it, then eventually you will start seeing some success, which means when you start thinking about getting it done, you won't see it as a painful object, because you won't be subconsciously thinking, am I going to get any results from this? You're going to want to do it because you're going to think, I'm going to start getting results because I'm already getting results for this. And I'm going to get even better results because I'm going to do it better. And I'm going to do it more consistently, which means I'm going to get even better. And eventually you start building a pattern of success. So I'm going to throw that one back over to you, Andre, but I'm just trying to emphasize the point. Irrespective of how you feel about it right now, something that we say in fact, all the leaders will say it. Forget how you feel right now. Put off how you feel and what your outcome is. Whatever it is you want to achieve from this, don't think about what I want to achieve and start thinking, I'll do these and after a week measure out how successful you are, because success don't come in a week. Set yourself a target of 90 days and just say, this is what I'm going to do every single day, regardless of how I feel, how much time I have, and whatever else is going off in my life. I'm going to do this every single day, no matter what. And then reassess how you feel. Maybe, not how you feel, but how you are doing after a month. Now, this is not to say how successful you are, but just to measure your results of where you started and where you are. Now, this is not to say, you know, so let me start again. Where you started from, where you are now, and then look at it and just think, right, this is how far I've come. And hopefully that gives you some kind of momentum of just thinking, right, so I've come this far. Imagine how much more results I can get in between now and another 30 days. And then another 30 days. Remember, we've got 3 months here, so you've got 3 sets of 30 days. So you measure it from 0 to 30, you'll see a significant improvement. But you imagine you doing it 30 to 60 days, and you doing it from 60 to 90 days. The more you do it, the bigger and better your results are going to get. And, you know, if you look at any of the leaders, they're not there because they have the gift of the gab. They've done it, they've got the gift of the gab, and they're so good at what they do because they are so consistent at it. And there is no better people. There's 2 people when it comes to mind when it comes to talking. That is the leader of our company, his name's David Wood, and there's also a leader in another network marketing company, his name's Ray Higdon. When you hear those 2 speak, it just comes out and it just flows, and you can feel it and you can imagine it. And they're so good with their talking and the picture that they give you, and, you know, making you feel that it's, you know, you can do it. And this is what I'm trying to tell you. You can do it, but the way they come across, it just makes you feel like, you know, it's you, and you can just imagine yourself in that position. But they're only there because they've been doing it so consistently every single day, rain or shine, no matter how they feel, no matter how much time they've got, no matter what's going off in their life. They do it every single day, and that is why they are where they are. And if you're not where you are, where you want to be, if you look back, it's chances are it's because you're not as consistent as what you wanted to, as what you should have been. So I'm going to send this one back over to you, Andre, because I think I've been gabbing for a little bit.
Well, no, because I mean, you brought up some good points too. Because we were covering as far as the little stuff that people that would tell themselves, as far as the lies. But just to add on also too, to start off good habits besides this 90 days. How about it? For those in network marketing profession, we all should know better as far as just the little simple things that could help you jumpstart not only your business but for you to put some value out there. How about why not do for 30 days about 15 to 30 minutes just reading? I mean, when you talk about we talk about successful leaders in different network marketing companies too. Where do you think these other top-notch motivational speakers get their information from? The Les Browns, the late Jim Rohns, the late Zig Ziglars, Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, the hip hop preacher, Darren Hardy. The list goes on and on and on. Where do you think they all began too? And not saying that you have to be a fast reader, because I'm a slow reader, but they did at least fill the mind with some good information too. Reading books daily, too. They also will listen to people that are more successful than them, too, and also in their field, that are the field of endeavor, whatever it is. I mean, you need this, especially as an entrepreneur. Neil, we talked about this too. Same thing with you, Patricia. We talked about this. We all have ups and downs too. But if you're listening to and reading to somebody that's been there where you're trying to go to, you be like, okay, I'm on the right track. You know what I'm saying? And then when you have the people that are kind of like nagging at you, like, man, why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing that? You're so much mentally on a whole nother level that doesn't really phase you. You know what I'm saying? That's just it's something to keep in mind too, as far as talk about how to get results in your business. Well, those are two right off the bat right there. Reading daily and listen to books, reading daily and listen to audio daily too. That will take your whole mentality to a whole nother level. You do it for 30 days straight. Trust me, you will not be the same person. Jim Rohn mentioned that years ago too. Like walk away from the 97%. Don't go where they go. Don't talk the way they talk. Don't do what they do. So once you start doing that, you say you will never go back to the old you. That's the old ways, the old excuses, or the old whatever too, because you're just on a whole different level mentally. Now with that information that you're working on internally, now when it comes out, you're speaking different. I know Les Brown joked around one time talking about, man, you're not the same person. He was like, that's right. In a good sense, too. Because, you don't want to go back to what I just said about Jim Rohn. You don't want to go back to that old person. Whatever type of background, not bashing on your background, too. But I'm just saying, too, it's just a whole different way of thinking. Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad told him that years ago, too. You think opposite from what that 95, 97 percentile of the population would think, too, which is a good thing, too. And you need that because, again, as we mentioned earlier, too, you're going to have your ups and downs. And another thing, too, once you're consistent with that, too, the action's going to come out, too. For those in the online world, just perfect example. Once you start, I mean, we've done it before, too, as far as, like, simple stuff as, like, video challenges. Doesn't matter what type of platform is on. It could be YouTube, just a simple, just turn it on your camera for your phone, maybe your computer, your laptop, too. Heck, maybe even Periscope and Blab, part of that Twitter family too. Those are good ways as far as just doing videos, just getting yourself out there too, and then just start sharing what you're learning. Jim Rohn used to say many years ago, study, practice, and teach. And then what Neil mentioned too, what Ray Hickman likes to talk about, is basically the same thing, just a little bit different. You invest, learn, teach. Really, they're the same thing, just worded differently, but the concept doesn't change. You put in the information to what you're learning to now go and share it. And trust me, now that's kind of like just kind of almost a little bit off the topic, but at the same time, you might just find out that this is some of the ways as far as how to help yourself start seeing the results in your business. Because guess what? Now, if you get some eyeballs onto that video, now you're being looked at as an authority for whatever company you're part of, too. If you're trying to help somebody, just where to share information, where to share your video. Guess what? If you were that person that was already sharing that information, now you're looked at as an authority too. Somebody might be able to use that video later on the road. For example, I know Patricia did that with us not too long ago with somebody that she knew in her group within our community too, the Superwoman group. That somebody that I think we were asking as far as to set up just a Google Hangout too, and it was her videos that she's had on for like 1 or 2 years now, But guess what? She's looked at as what? an authority because she's doing she had so many videos. So I looked at her channel, I was like, oh my goodness, she has a ton of videos, you know. And I'm pretty sure she might have a different channel, but that's besides the point. The thing is that she's looked at as an authority because she stayed consistent with that too. You know, another thing that we mentioned too, and for those that maybe might be working offline as far as the the network marketing profession is why not have another platform so people are gonna come back to you as far as like maybe a blogging platform. That's a good way just to also have information out there because guess what? That's on there for many years. I mean, I've seen blogs that have been on since like 2008, 2009 when I wanted to get information. This is a perfect example, like maybe a nutritional product, but somebody was able to go in depth about that, maybe a doctor or a nurse, and I was able to find out information about that. So you never know as far as starting just see that type of information out there too, because what were they doing? They were filling their heads up with some information too, and they went ahead and started to go and share that. So those are a couple of things that come to mind too, as far as just wanting to get out there, as far as people want to find sitting here like, all right, so what's the just get right into it. Well, you don't know. You might have just missed it when we didn't share it because we did hit as far as just those simple things, as far as what it is that you start seeing those results. Now, like we said earlier too, not going to guarantee you any results immediately because obviously results are not typical, as we said earlier too, but they are possible. And also too, that's why that comes down to income too, or how you see results. Whether we try to get people more eyeballs, more leads, or comments, whatever. Again, we got to go see the income disclosure statement below here as well. But again, the thing is, we're saying that it is possible too if you stay consistent, as we mentioned earlier too. And if you choose something that you can choose to just continue to do these daily too, trust me, you would not be the same person. Even if it's just for something as simple as 30 days. I know we talk about 90 days, 60 days, but if it's 30 days, now you already got the habit. You know what I mean? Because you already be consistent with it. Now you already have the habit. So now you're already rolling. So basically, once you get that, it's basically game over. Because you're not just you're automatically, like what Neil mentioned earlier, like what you do every time when you wake up, it's subconsciously you're just doing it anyway. Just like, oh, okay, no big deal. Because you already made it a habit, and it's a good habit too. Oh, by the way, so that's just something that I wanted to bring up as far as all that as well too.
No, that's cool. I was just about to ask. This is something that I don't know if anybody else has been guilty of this, but I know that it comes back to when I first started. I would always get onto a training video. And I would always be listening out thinking, right, I'm going to learn something here and it's going to really, really take my business to the next level. And I was always looking for that. I didn't realize it, but back then it was kind of like I'm just looking for something. It was almost like the magic pill that people talk about. The one thing that's really going to set my business on fire, like it really is going to make the biggest difference to my business. And they all make a big difference, but it's when you put it all together. And, often enough, I would hear something and I'd just like, I've already heard this before. I don't really need to hear this. I've already heard it before. And I'd be looking, right, I've not heard that. I've heard that before, so I'm not going to listen to that. I'm going to listen to something else because I need to hear something that I haven't heard before. But rather than thinking, right, okay, so I'm looking for something so I can see what people are doing to make their business so successful. But rather than seeing, okay, well, this is what they've been doing and this is what they said they're doing, they're both having great results, so they're obviously doing something consistent. They both said the same thing, which means that's what I need to be doing. I was like, well, no, there's got to be something else. I always had that thing, there's something else. I'm missing something else. So I was always looking for something else because I was thinking there has to be something else, and it didn't occur to me. When they were talking about blogs and videos, and I was just like, no, there has to be something else. And I was just so convinced that there had to be something else that it was like I was not prepared to listen to what they was already telling me. And I kept coming back to it. It's like, well, now I've already heard that, so I'm going to find something else. And I would turn that hangout off, and I'd go away. And I'll come back to it the next week, and then I start, well, I've already heard that too. And I start, no. And I just wanted to hear something new. It's like I wanted to keep filling myself with new information. But this again, because I wasn't doing anything with it, it was kind of pointless anyway. There's no point in learning something if you're not going to go out and do something with it, because it's a redundant thing. Why why learn something if you're not going to do anything with it? It's, you know, it serves no purpose. So, like what Andre was saying about invest, learn, teach. When we're talking about investing, your investment can come in two different ways, and that is either your time or your money. So either you've purchased something and then you've learned it. Obviously, your time goes with that too, but you don't necessarily have to pay for something in order to invest something, because if you're on this Hangout, then you're investing your time in it. So you've come here to learn something. But instead of just saying, okay, that was cool, I'm going to do that someday, and put it away, like we're saying, I'll come back to it later. What we're saying is, why don't you just say, right, okay, so, all right, maybe like for me now it's 11:30, so all right, it's getting pretty late, but I could probably say, all right, well, I'll get up first thing in the morning. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're not saying that, you know, you need to do it right now. It would be good if you could do it right now, because you're getting that implementation done straight away. However, don't beat yourself up if you can't do it right now. We're not saying it has to be done right now. But when you're saying to yourself, I'll do it later, you need to make sure that you will do it later. Don't lie to yourself and say, I'll do it later, when you know you really won't. If you can't do it right now, that's cool. You know, there may be other things going off in your life, and there may be like a couple of hours ahead of me, which means it might be early morning. And if that's the case, that's cool, and we appreciate you being on here. But when you do say, I'm going to do it later, you make sure that you're going to do it later, because that's what's going to set you apart and put you on a new path towards success, because you're setting yourself in motion of doing something daily and something that's going to make a difference in your life. I've got myself a daily set of tasks that I need to do every single day. But if I can't do it consistently every single day, I'm not going to do it. It's pointless. I remember I would write down a task of, right, this is what I'm going to do every single day. And most of the time, I wouldn't even get half of it done, because I gave myself such a big task of stuff I needed to do. And so I'd do half of it one day, and then I'd do maybe a bit of it the next. And then, it comes back to I wasn't consistent. So again, it was just you was kind of doing one bit here and one bit here, and again, you're not consistent with it. So this is again the problem. You need to sit yourself down with a realistic task of saying, this is what I'm going to do, and this is what I'm going to do every single day. No matter what, I'm going to spend at least 1 hour. I'm going to get this done, and this is what we're here. This is what we're going to give you today. So it's literally simple, 45 minutes, 1 hour, absolute most, of what you can do to make a difference in your business over the next 90 days. And like Andre was saying about shooting videos, a lot of people have a lot of negative association. I was very guilty of this, about not wanting to shoot videos. My biggest one was because I had a different perception as to how people perceive me as to how maybe people really perceive me. I had this thing of people perhaps perceive me a little bit worse than what they really did. I had that in the back of my mind, and that's what stopped me from shooting videos. But once I just hit a point, it's like, you know what, I'm just going to do it anyway, I don't care. And then once you start shooting videos and you start getting a bit of consistency, then you'll start realizing that it's not that bad after all. Sometimes we put so much pressure on ourselves thinking it's going to be worse than what it actually is, that we just bottle it up and just think, you know what, I'm not going to do it. Because you build it up to be so bad that you're just thinking it's going to be so painful and so horrible that you're not going to do anything with it. And you just need to push yourself past it and just get it done. Even if it is the worst video in the world, doesn't matter. Because I assure you now, the people that see it will probably look at it and just think, you know what, if this person can do it, so can I. And if you can inspire just one person just by shooting a video, it's a lot better to actually have a horrible video than a perfect video. And the reason for that is because a lot more people will relate to the horrible video than they will the perfect video. Because if you made a perfect video, then so many people out there are going to have to think that they have to be perfect too, which means you're not going to relate to them, because, again, who's perfect in this world? No one. So if you're going to try to achieve perfection, one, ain't going to happen, because perfection just don't exist. Second, who you're trying to actually target are not going to see the true picture, because they're thinking they're going to have to hold themselves to a lot higher standard than what they're doing, which again comes back to the same principle of what I'm saying. They're going to not want to take action because they're going to have to think that they're going to have to be so perfect. It's almost going to scare them away from doing what they're doing. And I guarantee you now, if you went back and looked at any of the top leaders that you see today and how they were that when they first started doing videos, you would be shocked as to how much of a difference you see from when they started to where they are now. Now, I'm not saying they was horrible when they first started. I'm just saying that you can see a significant difference from where they came from to where they are now. So don't think that that they've just got the gift of the gab, or they're just naturally good in front of the camera. You get rewarded in public. This is something that Tony Robbins says quite a lot, is you get rewarded in public for what you practice hours in private. So if you practice time and again being in front of the camera, doing videos and doing videos and doing videos, eventually it will just become normal, and you'll just get so good at it that you'll know exactly what to say. You won't think too much about being on video. It will just become normal. And at first it will seem a bit weird because it's not normal. It's not part of your daily routine. But once you do it often enough, anything becomes normal. And that's all you need to do. Just push yourself past it to just do it every single day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of whatever else you've got going off in your life, whatever negativities you've got going off in your head. Again, what Andre was talking about with your self-improvement audios and just listening to something, self-improvement every single day, just reprogram that negative thinking about what people may perceive you. Now, I'm not going to say for 1 second that there aren't people out there that may say that. I'm just saying that if there are, and they do actually say anything, which, hopefully they won't, and I've never come across it in the time I've done it, but if they do, you've just got to ignore it and just block them, because they're not part of who you really want to be around anyway. So who cares what they think? You just need to get past it and just think, you know what, there are going to be people out there who are going to say horrible things. It's just an unfortunate way of life, but that's no reason for you to not take action and go on to what you really want to achieve and do. So it's all about taking action. You just need to go and just do whatever it takes. Put the blinkers on and just think, I'm going to do this, and that's it.
Well, another thing too, Neil, and you got to keep in mind, once you start doing the little baby steps, keep the bigger picture in mind when you do this. I know Napoleon Hill mentioned in his book, Think and Grow Rich, too, when you have your major definite purpose, that goal, that dream that you want to kind of achieve, you have a plan, but guess what? The plan is probably going to change over time when you go on that journey, but the goal doesn't change. That doesn't go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? You just don't quit, too. You hit that, you game for that goal, even though the plan's like this. It's going to change over time. Perfect example, since I've been playing semi-pro football here the last 8 years to get ready in my 9th season as well. When I started doing videos was when I became part of my new team that I'm a part of right now, the River City Commandos. And I was shooting videos talking about them too. This is when I was this is again 2 years ago. I was new to this team. I've been playing for a while anyway too. I didn't know these guys and whatever. Little did I know that more guys knew me because of the videos I was shooting. Now I was doing that purposely, look at the bigger picture. Obviously to brag about my team, which, oh, by the way, we won last 2 championships that I've been playing with them. But on top of that, too, I was also getting myself ready to get ready to share information out, too. So I was looking at the bigger picture more than just talking about sports. You see what I'm saying? You got to look at the bigger picture. I was doing it purposely knowing that, okay, let me do this to get ready for myself later down the road. And sure enough, it's helped me better as far as, obviously it helps you become a better communicator. As Neil said, David Woods mentioned that too. I didn't believe that at first too, but that's also true, because now we can be in front of our audience too, be no problem. Because we just go ahead and just share information. Because when you're in front of that camera, it's you and that camera. You're one-on-one. Or as we mentioned earlier too, the couple new apps that are the kids in the block, whether it be Periscope and Blab, almost like in a sense reality TV, but it's now for your own use. A little bit of social media. Another good thing with like perfect example of Periscope. So this is more of one-on-one too. Get ready for my upcoming season as well. Obviously sharing information too on business. Now you can also see a little bit more of my own lifestyle. You see, I like to share information too. Maybe when I'm at the gym working out too. Got a preseason game coming next month. So what do you think I'm gonna be doing? We showing you what's going on in the field too. Now obviously not during when I'm playing, because that's just not happening. But after the game too. Because, be showing the scoreboard and everything, too. Just let people know, too, oh, okay, this is what else is going to do. So, I really have not utilize Periscope that heavy, but I'm still doing some type of video. If it's a Periscope, if it's a Blab, if it's a video, to share it on Facebook or YouTube, I'm doing some type of a video. To be honest with you, probably about 4 to 6 times a week. You got to be real consistent, and that's gonna be something that you really want to aim for. As far as that's a marketing strategy you want to use. This comes down to like we mentioned earlier, talking about seeing type of results too. Again, personally, I saw the bigger picture, so that's why I was like, all right, let me go ahead and keep on doing this, so people can get. First of all, let me get a following. I already knew that in the back of my head that I was playing dumb in a sense, as far as like, okay, let me share out what I'm doing, my team, a little bit of lifestyle too. I was like, let me get this out anyway because I'm preparing myself for a lot bigger picture down the road too. And I know Patricia's a lot better with videos than Neil and I are, because she loves to give out lifestyle. She's real good at that too, as well too. Whether it be on Facebook or Periscope as well too. But she has a big following now because of that. I know Blab's a little bit different because in a sense it could be like a Google Hangout, but if you have it on your phone, I don't have it on my phone, by the way, but you'll get people that actually, if they've been paying attention to you, they're going to actually be following you. Like, if you get on, same thing with Periscope, people are going to be like, let me check out what this person's doing. Guess what? You've already become what we shared earlier, as we talked about, an authority. Because you were just being consistent, just getting yourself out there. It wasn't pretty. I know there's still some people, and Patricia, you see this too. There's still some people in Periscope that don't have a profile picture. They're kind of like this. They're kind of like, all right, let me look at this person. But I've seen like so many people following them. Like, are you kidding me? But I don't know they're getting themselves out there. You got to get your face out there too, especially if you're a marketer. You got to. That's a must. But I mean, again, it comes down to a little simple things. Just be consistent with it.
That's true. In a way, I took one person's name, and actually my name. I typed in, I saw my profile, right, and then I clicked on all the Patricias. I think there was one other person who had a video, but all the Patricias that had registered on Periscope, it was only me that was active, and one other person. Maybe they had one video and that was it, and maybe they didn't have their profile or their bio filled in. So they are either, one thing it shows you is the market out there. We have a potential market for growth because all these people are not taking advantage of the platform, or they're just looky-loos or voyeurs. They don't know what it's about. They don't know how to use it. They're not in business, and they don't have a business, don't plan to have a business. They're just looky-loos. And the same thing on YouTube. You have people who might not know how to use the platform to their advantage for a business, because let's face it, if everybody did have an online business, we would have no one to sell to, or if they were on the platform, we would have nobody that would be a voyeur to look and to look at our businesses. But in all honesty, like I said, and then when I found out that those Patricias under my name weren't in business, I started to go I typed in Alice to see who was there. And this was on Periscope, and there was nobody. Maybe the first Alice, she had, an egg. She hadn't even put in her profile image yet, and then maybe the second one had their profile picture up, but no description. Then maybe the one that did had a little bit of something, and maybe had done a Periscope, but that's it. And then maybe no followers. So it's just a variety of different things. So we have people that we could educate, and hopefully they pop on, and whatever we are offering them, that they're going to follow us, and through time they'll be able to click the link above, which is on the Periscope, because we know that that's the only clickable link that you can put, thank goodness, on your bio now that they've done. So, but I wanted to, talk about Think and Grow Rich again here. And being a leader, how to be a leader. We are first and foremost leaders of ourselves, right? And like Neil was talking about, we have all of these things that we are against ourselves, people who, the naysayers, and ourselves, we lie to ourselves. We're the biggest person that we lie to, and I have shared this before in the back of the book, The 6 Ghosts of Fear, which is, if I didn't have a wife or family. there's 55 of them, and I'm only going to point out a few. If if I had enough pull, if I had money, if I had time. Time happens to be a big one. I know that's one of my fears, or not fears, but one of my excuses, because generally I'm busy. I don't have a family. I have a husband. We don't have any children, but my life is busy. It's like bing, boom, boom, boom. I'm doing one thing and then I jump, and before I could take a breath, I've got something else that I have to do. So that means I need to be organized with whatever I'm doing, especially if I'm in business. If I could live my life over again, who could do that? We can't go back in time, get in the time machine and then go backwards. So we should start with now, right? Then if had been given a chance, we might be blaming other people for are not achieving our goals and what we need to do in life. A few more is, if I dared assert myself, what could that hurt? Go for it. Dare yourself to be better. Why not? If I could save some money, sometimes that's hard. If my family understood me, we all have that problem of our family trying to understand what we're doing in this industry, right? Because let's face it, it's not a 9 to 5 job. That's something that they see that's secure, where you can go to work, a tangible place, and get money for your services, right, at the end of the week or 2 weeks or a month's time, whenever you get paid. If I could marry the right person, right? If I were sure of myself, we all have self-doubts. And if I hadn't lost my money, or if I didn't have a past. So, there's so many people who, and on and on and on. That's only a few of our fears, right? But one thing about this book, in chapter 7, and I'm going to hold it up, you probably can't see it there, but it's talking about organized planning. So I just want to read a little bit here. And it says, you have learned that everything man creates or acquires begins in the form of desire. That desire is taken on the first lap of the journey, from the abstract to the concrete. And it says, into the workshop of the imagination, where plans for its transition are created and organized. So it says, we have to ally ourselves with a group of many people as you may need to for the creation of carrying out your plan or plans for accumulation of money. We're in business, so we're doing this mastermind. We met together at an event, so we get together once weekly, and we invite our followers so that they can join us on a journey to plan out and map out their lives of how they could be successful, right? And so before forming our mastermind alliance, decide what advantages and benefits you may offer the individual members of your group in return for their cooperation, right? And then there's another one here. Arrange to meet with the members of your mastermind group to at least once or twice a week. Well, we do it weekly, and and more often, if possible, until you have jointly perfected the necessary plan or plans for accumulation of money. And the last one is maintain perfect harmony between yourself and every member of your mastermind group. So we do this across the waters there. Neil is in England, and Andre is 5,000 miles away from me, but we get together to mastermind, and it's like I said, we invite people who want to be on this journey. So that's another way to get people into our business faster. We're talking about that, right? If we have a way, this is a platform that we have, that we get together. We have this wonderful free platform called Google. So just sending out our emails, inviting people, putting messages on Periscope, putting it on Google. People who want to join us and join our team, they can click the link below and they can join us so that they can find out how to get more signups and use this platform for themselves to invite people here. So that is something that, you know, I appreciate that these companies, Google has done for us, a free platform. Periscope is a free platform for you to get followers to sign up into your business. So, you know, that's what I like about this.
No, that's awesome. But you know, Andre, when you was on about Blab as well, this is something that that really made me realise the power of video, and particularly Blab as well, because not long after I discovered about Blab, Andre says, you know what, let's just jump out on Blab, let's just have a quick chat. And we must have been on there for about half an hour, was it, Andre?
Yep.
We were on there for about half an hour, and someone came out and they just started talking to us, and you know, we just got talking, and all me and Andre was doing is just masterminding about what we was doing and what we was going to do for the next hangout and things like that. We were just really planning. We had nothing particularly scripted. There was nothing, no intention behind it. Just literally, let's just get on Blab, let's talk, let's build out something for the next hangout. And I think we was planning on building something out. It was a couple of months ago, so I don't remember exactly, but this particular person came out and just says, you know what, I'm quite intrigued as to what you guys are doing because it sounds interesting. And you know, we were just talking, and after half an hour, this guy comes out, talks to us for another 20-30 minutes, I think it was, and he signed up straight away. And I just found it absolutely amazing that, you know, we didn't know this person for anything. I didn't realise that. I mean, and I could see that he was there, but I didn't realise that, you know, he was going to join us. Not at all. And to be honest, our intention wasn't to actually recruit or bring anyone into our business. It was just more mastermind to take it forward. And if we got anything out of it, bonus. But I didn't think for 1 second we'd make a sale. I thought maybe we'd get a few people interested to get them over to the hangout that we was looking to build. But under no way was I expecting anybody to actually sign up and join us. And that's the power of when you decide to take action and just think, you know what, although, I mean, I'll be honest with you, when Andre called me out and says, let's do it, I was thinking, I don't know if I want to do this, because again, I still had that skepticism, that mindset of, I don't like doing videos, because I still had that not anxiety, that's the wrong word, but I still had this negative association with being in front of people on video. But you've got to just get past that and just think, you know what, I'm no different how people are. And all right, there are people out there that I feel are better than me at video, but that's only because they've been doing it longer than me. They're not better than you. They're just perhaps more experienced than you or more comfortable than you in front of the video. And all it takes for you to get there is just doing it more often. Some people take to it very, very quickly. Patricia and Andre take to it a lot better than what I did. I still have to push myself to do the videos, but I do them because I need to do them. I build up and just get them done now, but I'm nowhere near as good, at least I don't feel I'm as good on the videos as Patricia and Andre, but they just do them. They've been doing them so long now, it just feels natural to them. And that is the only difference between where you possibly are, where you see yourself, and where you see others. So don't think that you're not as good as other people. You're just not as comfortable, and you've not just been, perhaps not as experienced. You just need to do it consistently, and you'll soon get up and you'll just feel normal, and you'll just feel natural in front of it, and you'll just flow. You just need
I wanted to say something, Neil, that it's still not quite natural because, you know, it does take a bit of effort to get on there and do them because, of course, you have to have in your mindset what you're going to be saying, and sometimes I just get on there and I just go for it. Have nothing specific. Of course, I do have something specific to talk about, but at the end of it, of course, it's not scripted, so I never know where I'm going to really lead to. But it's interesting because just before this hangout, I jumped on 15 minutes before. I made a quick video, and
I think we've lost her.
Ooh, man. Yes, we did.
She just quickly came back then. Now she's again. Yeah,
oh man, we did lose her.
I'll take that. take it back over a bit. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with video, right? We all don't want to do video because we're very, perhaps self-conscious would be the word, of how we feel. But we are our own worst critic. How many people are guilty of watching, maybe recording a video and making the fatal mistake of saying, you know what, I'm just going to watch it first before I do anything with it. Then you watch it, and then you say, all right, I'm not gonna do this because I missed this, or you know, I didn't do this, or this could have been better. So you try and edit it, and you know, don't. If you're gonna record a video, you need to just throw it up there, and that's the kind of point where I've got to now. Cause it's like I'm not gonna watch the video because I know that I still have that, but I'm just, you know what, I'm just gonna record the video, I'm just gonna throw it out there because that's the only way you're going to learn. And you're going to get into that again, the routine of being consistent. And if Patricia's here, I will let her take it back over. You there, Patricia?
Still probably trying to come out. But don't forget too, we've also talked about a good video, which is excellent too. But we're not going to take anything away from what we mentioned earlier too down there as far as blogging. You see what I'm saying? As far as using that as well too. You can go ahead and keep on. You can go on with that too, man. Go on with blogging as well, man. Yeah,
I mean that's what I was just about to come on to next. If Patricia wasn't actually going to come out, I'm not too sure if she's still with us or not. But yeah, the thing is with blogging, because this for me was the biggest breakthrough, is when once I discovered how to actually use a blog. Because for I'm going to say years, because I was always told when I first got started, if you want to start building a business online, you need to blog. And the first time I heard that, I'm just like, what is a blog? I don't even know what a blog is, let alone how to use one. What do we use one? How do I use one? What do I do with one? I had all these questions, just like, and I had too much going off in my head. So I just avoided it completely. And I just thought, again, went back to, I'll find something else. But the fact is, I've now come back round. Took a few years, but I've come back round to the point now of I need to do blogging. It's, you know, you can't avoid the inevitables of life. You know, it's kind of like what we were saying about, you know, you get up in the morning, you try going about your day and not having a shower and not brushing your teeth and do whatever else you need to do. It soon will make a difference. And eventually you'll come back and just think, you know what, I need to do it.
Can you guys see?
Patricia?
Can you see me?
Yes.
It's weird. There's two of me here.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
That is weird. I don't know. Okay, there.
No.
All right. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
It just the signal just completely went, and then you just disappeared.
Yeah, it was weird. That's the first time it happened to me. I know I see it happen to other people, but that was the first time. Well, hey, you know, we're talking. I'm sorry, I don't know what you were talking about, but the thing with technology is that it's still not foolproof. But like I said, we could still use it to our advantage. And even though, you know, we do a Blab, we do Google Hangout, we do a Periscope. One thing I like about these platforms, number one, they're free, yay, and number two, that we could take the links and post them all over social media and get them out there. So that's one great way to get ourselves known on all social media platforms so that people could get a chance to see who we are. That was what I wanted to say, and all of a sudden then it went...
No, that's cool. I was just talking about blogging because that was the other thing we was talking about, and you know,
on our blogs, yes, too.
it was just when I first got started, I didn't understand what a blog was. I didn't know what I needed to do with a blog, and it was just like I avoided it because I just didn't understand what a blog was. And you know, when I first got started online, we're talking 6-7 years ago now, and it was just like in order to get a blog up, it's not quite as simple as what we've got available to us now, where we can just literally get started and everything set up for us. You had to literally pay someone to set everything up, and it was just like, it was such I found it such a pain to do. I just avoided it. But I also thought that I could just I won't say nick, but there was such things as called PLR, which is private label rights. So basically you're buying someone else's content, but this is content that's already been distributed, but because it's PLR, no doubt everyone else is using it. So you've got the duplicate content thing, which Google doesn't really like. So when you're posting it out there thinking, you know, you're going to get traffic and you're going to get ranked, and it's not going to work. And, you know, again, you're just doing blogging all wrong. But the one thing I do see, if the biggest problem I see people have when they do blogging is, yes, they have the problem of not knowing what to do. They don't know how to do it, but most importantly, they build up a perception in their head, all right, I'm just going to write about this. And if you've got no actual target audience that you're trying to talk to, or you've got no idea what you're actually talking about, that's even worse, then it's kind of a redundant, again, it's a redundant activity, because you're not going to see any kind of results with it. You need to follow there's a certain process you need to follow when you're looking to do a blog, because if nobody's searching for the content you're putting out there, it's kind of pointless in you doing it. And I know, again, coming back to when I first started, this is something I did. I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to write down my thoughts, exactly what I'm thinking. And yeah, okay, that's a good start, because again, you're still taking action. But I got very disillusioned because I wasn't seeing any results with my blog. And again, had I have known what I knew now, it's because I was just putting out there, and the headlines that I was putting out there, nobody was searching for them, and that's why nobody was finding my blog, because the content that I was putting out there, Google didn't see relevant to what other people were searching for. So again, if you're just putting out there your thoughts, I'm not saying for 1 second that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that if you're looking to get some results and get ranked in the search engines and get people finding you, then you need to go about things a completely different way. And if I can, I'll tell you what, I'll just do it. I'll just go through it just now as to what you should really be doing when you actually get started. So I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Just give me 1 second. So just going to jump over. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah. So all we're looking to do, we're going to ignore that top one, and we're going to go to Google's Keyword Planner, and all you're looking to do is just type in a keyword. So a keyword is a simple phrase that you would type into Google. So if you're going to Google for whatever reason, it could be anything, whatever you type into Google is a keyword, and that's basically what we're looking for here. But if nobody's looking for it, again, it comes back to the point, if nobody's looking for it, you're not going to get found. So you need to find something that people are searching for. So let's just go a generic topic. So what we've been talking about now, so getting traffic blog. So we could do something like that. And then all you're looking to do is click on Get Ideas. Now all we're looking to do here is just get a basic idea as to what we're looking for. So once you're down here, you want this. You don't want the ad group ideas, you want the keyword ideas, because this is just a single keyword phrase that you're looking to search for. So the exact term, getting traffic to your blog, and according to Google, that's searched for 90 times a month. So not a bad one to start off with, because again, the lower the search volume, the less competition you're going to have. Now, there is such a thing as having not enough. So, you know, when you've got 12,000, that's going to be far too much. You're going to have a lot of competition there. But there is such a thing as not having enough as well. So I'm just going to quickly sort this by searches per month. And I think he's going to do the most first. So yeah, I'm just going to turn it around again. And this should say something around, yeah, so you've got 0 searches a month. You've also got 10 searches a month. Ideally, we want you to really be looking at something around 50 searches a month minimum. But like I said, the less traffic you've got, so the amount of people searching per month, the less traffic you're actually going to, the less competition you're going to have. So when you type this in, chances are this is going to have not too many people that are trying to compete for that particular search term. So, okay, so in this example, we've got quite a bit, but that's 158 million. So that's still a lot, but you know, you might find other keywords where you've got low search volume that doesn't have quite as much. Sometimes you've probably got less than 1 million people that's trying to search up here. Up here, this is your competition. So this is how many websites are trying to compete with you for this keyword. Now, my advice is you really want you really want to be searching for something that's. Let me just get rid of that. You really want to be searching for something that ideally, perhaps about 5 million, I'd probably say is about suitable. But the internet's getting bigger and bigger and bigger nowadays. So eventually it's going to get to a point where you are going to be competing with a lot of people. But the point is, when you get started, get the right page. When you get started, you want to make sure you're searching for something. You're writing something about something that has search volume. So when you're writing about something, if you're searching about this and you've got a load of competition up here, is it really worth your time to be going against that many people for 10 people per month? And I'm going to say no, because it's going to take you a lot longer to rank in a website that's got 100 against 158 million other people. So what you really want to be looking for is something like this. Now, again, we'll do the checks, but that is quite a long keyword phrase. And the longer it is, generally, the less competition you're going to have with it. So I've just clicked on the wrong one. So let me just go back. And I'll try this one. And I apologise for my internet being a bit slow. My internet's not very good tonight. Just waiting for it to catch up with me. Just bear with 1 second. Okay, it's going to ask me. Let me see that. So, okay, so even more. Oh well, so almost as much. But the point is, you've got a long keyword here that you want to be looking for, and the less competition you've got here, the easier it is going to be to rank. So what you're looking for is something that's got a reasonable amount of searches. So ideally looking for around 50 upwards to about 300 searches per month. That's really what you're looking for. Don't go in straight in for the 12,000 and 11,000 searches per month, because you're just not going to compete against these websites that are ranking at the top of Google for competition with this much searches per month. Have been there for a long time. It's going to take you forever. So start low, start targeting them, and the more consistent you start putting out your blog posts, then the better Google will start seeing your website as an authority, because it consistently sees posts being added to Google every single day, and Google will see that. So the more it can see you posting, the more it's going to rely on you, the more it's going to give you better rankings, and eventually you will find yourself on the first page. But at first, it's not going to happen. But back to the point, if you're looking for something to write about, this is where you need to come, because this is where this is what Google's telling you people are searching for every single month. So before you come up with an idea of a blog post, well, not before, but once you come up with an idea of a blog post, type in your keyword here. So this is your search term here. And if Google says at the top, so I'll just do it. I'll tell you what, I'll just do my name so you can just see the point. So at the top, it's going to say here, this is the search term I've done. That will just have a line, which means nobody's searching for that. As you can see there, nobody's searching for that search phrase. So if you come up with a search term and it does that, it means nobody is searching for it. So don't write a blog post against that, because it's going to be a pointless task. So what you then do is just come down here and start looking against the search terms that are deemed, because again, this is what Google deems relevant to my name. I don't know how it comes up with that, but the point is, if you write it, if you type in, I don't know, again, blogging, just blogging in general, then everything that's down here is what Google deems relevant to the word blogging. So if you're trying to do blogging and just for example, blogging isn't found. Nobody's searching for blogging. Obviously, we know that's not the case. But if that said nothing, then what you do here is just find, okay, so maybe I look at blog. It's got 1 million searches per month. Maybe I want to write about that. Now, obviously, I'm just using that as an example. I would never say go against that because that's a lot of searches. So, but you come down here and then you try and find something that you think fits with what you're trying to say. And you will be able to make a good blog post out of it. Because again, if you're writing in here saying what is a blog, but then you talk about I don't know, something about, let's try and find it. Okay, these are all about blogging completely. But if you start talking on there, if you're searching blogging and then you find something that's completely outside of blogging, then you're not going to be able to link the two together. So it needs to make sense, because if you're talking about one subject but you nick a headline that's relevant to another, Google's not going to like that. It needs to be congruent, because again, when people are searching for this is again what people are searching for every single month, every single day even. And if your blog post, when they click on that and they see that that's not what they're expecting, they're going to click away. And that is another thing that Google looks for. If you find people that are clicking on your website and clicking straight away, it's because you're not relevant to what they're expecting. That you're not providing the information that they're expecting, that they want, and that's another indication that you're not doing things right. But all you're looking to do, so back to the point, find a keyword that's in here. It's got a reasonable amount of searches. Again, 2,900 to start off with, far too much. You want to be starting at 50. I would say no more than 300, 500 at absolute most. So 50 to 500. I'm going to say 50 to 300 is going to be better. That's where you want to be aiming. Write a blog post around that. In fact, let me just find one that's just as a quick example. Let me find one that has reasonably between 50 and 300. So we've got one there. Online blog size. So if you wrote a blog post about that, 260 searches per month. Now, I'm not going to check the competition on it. Obviously, the lower the competition, the easier is going to be for you to rank. But to start with, you want to be targeting 260 searches per month. Well, I'm not saying you want to be targeting that much, but between 50 and 300. Now, to make things easier on yourself, there is one other tip that I've got for you. Don't try to rank against keywords that are 4 keywords or less. So if it's got 4 words inside this keyword search phrase, I would say anything less than 4 you don't want to be searching for. You want the longer the keyword, the better, because it means that there are not going to be as many people that are going to be ranking against it. Now, the search term I did check previously, it was actually a little bit had a little bit longer search terms, but there is one other tip that I can give you. If you don't find anything relevant, just grab another one and put it back in here. Rather than just retyping something out, just copy and paste and do another one, because then you're going further and further into Google's algorithm, and you're going to get further and further. You're going to get higher, a longer keyword, and then you're going to find something that is going to be a long key phrase. It's going to have the right search terms, and it's going to have a low competition, which means you're going to be able to rank relatively quickly. Now, whilst we're on the subject of blogging, you've got 2 choices when you do a blog. I'm just going to quickly come back to the screen, because when you get started, can you see me? Yeah, you can. When you get started with a blog, you've got 2 choices. You can start your own blog, or you can use a platform that we have. And the reason why I would always recommend you to use the second one, that's because the blogging platform we have is recognized in Google's eyes as an authority, because there are so many people that are using it. And that's where, have you ever noticed that websites like WordPress, well, not websites, but platforms like WordPress get recognized better in Google's eyes rather than perhaps a standalone platform that you've just purchased for $10 off I don't know, HostGator or something like that. And the reason for that is because Google knows millions of people use WordPress for blogs, and that is why Google will rank WordPress websites over and above other websites, because millions of people use it. And if millions of people are using it, Google sees that as an authority. So, you know, have you ever done a search term, for example, and saw YouTube videos in the actual search term? And chances are you have, and that's because Google sees YouTube as an authority, because millions and millions of people use YouTube. And this is what it is. So if you buy a blogging platform, you can start from buy your own domain name and set yourself up a blog. I'm not saying you can't do that, but I'm just saying that if you want to see yourself ranking in Google against these search terms, you're going to stand a better chance if you're using a platform that Google sees as an authority. So what I would encourage you to do is click on the link below, and when you get inside, you're going to have access to our blogging platform, the blogging platform we use. And using that keyword strategy that I've just shown you just there, again, I can't tell you what keywords to go for because, again, I don't know what niche you're targeting. I don't know what you want from your blog. Everybody's different. But this is something we can go through with you when you're on the inside. So if you're saying, right, I want to do blogging, I want to do blogging about this particular niche, okay, that's cool. So we can set out a plan of what you can do, shooting video-wise and blogging-wise. We can talk you through a particular strategy as to how you can find, one, unlimited content every single day. You will never be short of content for the rest of your life. That is a fact. Two, we can show you where to find, well, we've just shown you how to find relevant search terms that you can try and rank against, and because you're using an authority blog that thousands of other people are using as well, Google will see that and rank that over and above a simple $10 website that you're going to create from GoDaddy, HostGator, or wherever else it is that you're going to buy one from. And again, I'm not saying that that's your only option. You know, you can go the route and try and build your own website, but I'm just saying that if you want to start seeing results quicker, you kind of need to get a head start, and that the only way to do that is to use a platform, because there are so many people out there that are trying to rank in Google nowadays. You need to get a bigger head start as possible. So, and the only way to do that is by using a platform. So what I would encourage you to do, get started. Once you're inside, reach out to whichever one it is. If Patricia's invited you here, that's cool. Reach out to Patricia and she'll know exactly what to do and how to help you going forward. If Andre's invited you here, likewise, just reach out to Andre. He will gladly help you go through exactly what we've discussed today. And likewise, if I've invited you here, no different. All you got to do is reach out to one of us three or whoever's invited you here, because we do have two guests who are not here, unfortunately, Ian and Aaron. If any of those two have invited you here and you get started, all you got to do is reach out to them. They know exactly what you need to do. If you tell them you want to start doing videos, if you want to start doing blogging, they will be able to point you in the right direction. It's not a problem at all. But we need to know, the first thing we need to know what your intentions are. There's no point in us telling you what to do, because if it's not something you want to do, you're not going to do it. So if you know what you want to do, you know what you want to do, and you've got an outcome in mind, so you know what kind of things you want to do with the blog. That's cool. That's what you talk to us about, and then from there we can start building out a plan. But you need to talk to us and let us know what your intentions are, because we can't help you if we don't know what your intentions are. My intentions are going to be completely different to Patricia's, and completely different to Andre's and Ian's and Aaron's, because we're all different. Every single one of us is different. We might have similar ideas, but we've not got the same ideas. So once you make the decision to get started, you need to have a few ideas, what niche you want to get started with, maybe what kind of things you want to talk about on your blog. All we're looking for is general ideas, not everything, because that's what we're here to do. That's what we're going to point you in the right direction. But we just need a guideline to where to point you, because there are so many different ways you can go with a blog. But if you want to use blogging as part of your marketing arsenal, which is something I would highly encourage you to do, then you need to get started. You need to get a head start as quickly as possible, because there's a lot of people out there in the world that are trying to do this, and if you're going to start from a standalone platform, it's going to be very, very, very difficult for you to get ranked, certainly straight away. I'm going to say you're not going to see any results for at least 6 months. And I'm no expert, I could be wrong, and hopefully I am, but I have never seen a single website get ranked into Google after 1 or 2 posts, because Google just doesn't see it as the authority. And Google doesn't crawl it that often, but once Google starts recognizing you, it will, but it just takes time for that juice to start flowing, because it doesn't know you. Whereas if you get started with a blog that's recognized already, Google will already recognize you straight away, and it will give you that juice more because of how many people that are using the platform. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, hopefully you've found something useful, and even if you don't get started with us today, that's cool. You've got enough here to know how to blog, what to blog about, because that's what your keywords are all about. And even if you've got videos as well, you can mix the two. So maybe you decide that you're going to shoot a video about a particular keyword that you find on Google. You then shoot a video about it as well. Then you write a blog post, post the video, post the blog post, then post them both together. That's 3 separate posts that you can actually get out there to your viewers, and that's three different kinds of different posts that you can do. So, like I said, there's different things that you can do, but like I said, there's also different strategies that you can do. But again, I'm gonna pass it over to you because I need to take a drink because my my throat's going a bit dry.
All right, excellent. Because also one other thing too, since we were talking about videos too and how to share it on your blogs as well, such as ours, and I'm about to go show that too as well. Wait, let me get to my screen real quick. I wanted to share this. This is something I got from Patricia for those who have been wondering about Periscope. Well, let me tell you another one in the family. Catch, right here. Catch.me. Once you do a Periscope, you can actually have the replay of your Periscope right here. And then guess what? This is pretty cool. I'm not going to show my scope because this is on catch.me. But now you can actually go and let's see if I can find it. You can go and oops, I didn't want to do that. But you can go and download this. Let's see, I'm going to cancel that. See, I'm looking for the embed. You can go and share it. There we go. Here we go. You can use this right here and use this right here to copy this embed part. Guess what? You can put it on your, as we shared earlier, your blogging platform, which is the Collab2 blog platform. And then also too, you can figure out which theme once you do decide to join us and click that yes, let me in. Go pick your theme, which one you want. As you can tell through some of the leaders in our community too, just so you get a good glance as far as, okay, this is the type of theme I want to, different themes, just to get an idea. Doesn't matter. Pick one that kind of resonates with you as well. We have some new ones on here. Some ones I'm just realizing myself. But anyway, the point is so you can get your information out there, yes, go and use those 2 simple tools. So again, use Catch. And then once you use Catch, you can go to your Collab2 platform, which again is only $17. 2-week trial. Give it a shot. See what it's all about. Too, and also too, you might also find out that it's more than just talking about business on here, which we've been talking about tonight. But again, we just had just those simple ways just to help you get started too with your business too. And then again, what Neil said is crucial as far as too just having your information out there too, especially for blog platforms too, because not taking anything away from any other blogging platforms, but the Collab2 blogging platform, you are a step ahead as far as getting everything situated, because let me just tell you this too, it'll be a lot more money you'd be spent on if you were to use another blog platform that one's to get haters on that one. It'll take a while for that platform to come back up. So this is something to think about too, compared to using our Collab2 platform when everything's been situated with that too. So that's just one thing I wanted to share with as well too once you do decide to join us.
So today we've seen a variety of ways that we can attract people to our business using all of these different platforms and tools and everything. So there's no excuse. They should join us. Click that green link that says, let me go there too. It says, yes, let me in. And then we have that little blue button down there. We have a free gift for you, a free ebook that they can use to advance their knowledge about how they want to approach business. So I'm looking forward and excited to welcoming some new people into my business. So it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, so that's just what we want to share, and hopefully you did get some tremendous value from what we did share out here from tonight. So again, just let us know below comment below. You did get a lot of value from this as well tonight. So with that being said, we will see you guys in the next hangout.
Take it easy, guys.
Peace.